Door of election is open to all. Apologize to nation for crimes and misdeeds and come to upcoming polls. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to BNP.
ইলেকশনের শিডিউল ঘোষণা হয়েছে, সবাই আসেন, ইলেকশনে অংশগ্রহণ করেন, জাতির কাছে মাপ চেয়ে তারপরে এসে আপনারা নির্বাচনে আসেন, সেটাই আমরা চাই। নির্বাচনের দরজা সকলের জন্য উন্মুক্ত।
Prime Minister calls on global leaders to be united to stop ongoing war in Europe and carnage in Palestine. Cyclonic storm Mithili crosses Bangladesh coast this afternoon. Maritime ports advised to lower danger signal number 7 to local cautionary signal number 3. Commercial operation of train services between Dhaka to Cox's Bazar begins from December 1. Israeli attacks continue, targeting Hamas leaders in Gaza. Patients in al-Shifa hospital screaming from thirst as the facility runs out of oxygen and water. And Colombia beat Brazil with 2-1 and Uruguay beat Argentina with 2-0 in World Cup qualifying matches. Assalamu alaikum viewers, I'm Tanzila Manir Sultana welcoming you all to News at 10. You have just heard the headlines, then moving on to news in details. Awami League President and Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has called upon all political parties of the country, including BNP Jamaat, to participate in the upcoming national election, saying that BNP Jamaat should take part in the upcoming parliamentary polls, seeking apology to the nation for committing crimes and arson terrorism. The door of election is open to all. She said this while delivering her opening speech at the first meeting of Bangladesh Awami League's Election Steering Committee at the party's Dhaka district office at Dejgaon in the city today. Mentioning that election schedule has been announced, Sheikh Hasina said everyone should come and participate in the election, go to the people and seek vote for them. About the BNP Jamaat especially killing people and causing loss of lives and properties through arson violence and torching vehicles by them, she said they should seek apology to the nation for their crimes and then take part in the 12th national parliamentary election. Sheikh Hasina, also the chairman of Awami League's Election Steering Committee, thanked the Election Commission for announcing the election schedule in time, following the rules and not getting afraid of the arson violence. She said cooperation from the people of the country so that the election can be held in a free, fair manner on time.
ধন্যবাদ জানাই আমাদের নির্বাচন কমিশনকে যে তারা অন্তত এই জ্বালাও পোড়াও এতে ভয়ে ভীত না হয়ে সময় মতো সাংবিধানিক নিয়ম মেনে নির্বাচনের শিডিউল ঘোষণা করেছে। এখন নির্বাচন যাতে যথাসময়ে সুষ্ঠুভাবে হয় সেজন্য জনগণের এবং দেশবাসীর সহযোগিতা আমি চাই। দেশবাসীকে বলবো আপনাদের ভোটের অধিকার সুরক্ষিত করার জন্য, নিশ্চিত করার জন্য, আপনাদের মনমতো সরকার গঠনের জন্যই এই নির্বাচন। আমার ভোট আমি দেব, যাকে খুশি তাকে দেবো, এই স্লোগান দিয়েই আপনারা ভোট দেবেন যারা ভোটার। এবং আমাদের যুব সমাজকে বলবো যে আমরা তো স্মার্ট বাংলাদেশ গড়ে তুলবো। আজকে ডিজিটাল বাংলাদেশ করে দিয়েছি, তার সুফল সকলে পাচ্ছেন এবং আগামীতে স্মার্ট বাংলাদেশ গড়ে তোলার জন্যই আমাদের এই প্রচেষ্টা। কাজে তাতে আমরা আশা করি যে তাদেরও সহযোগিতা আমরা পাবো। যারা সাধারণ মানুষকে এভাবে হত্যা করার পরিকল্পনা করে বা হত্যা করে, তাদের কেন মানুষ ভোট দেবে? তাদের উপর মানুষ কেন আস্থা রাখবে? তাদের আস্থা রাখে না, মানুষ তাদের উপর বিশ্বাস করে না। তারা ঘাতক হিসেবে চিহ্নিত, তারা ষড়যন্ত্রকারী হিসেবে চিহ্নিত। তো সেটা তো মাথায় রাখতে হবে। জনগণের উপরে এরা আস্থা রাখতে না পেরে জনগণের উপরে হামলা চালাচ্ছে। এদের সম্পর্কে দেশবাসীকে আমি বলবো সচেতন থাকতে। জনগণ যদি প্রতিরোধটা করে তাহলে কিন্তু এরা এইভাবে মানুষের ক্ষতি করতে পারবে না। আর যে পোড়াবে তার বিরুদ্ধে যথাযথ ব্যবস্থা নেওয়া হবে। এবার আর কোনো ছাড়াছাড়ি নেই, এটা হলো বাস্তবতা। তা আমি বিএনপি এবং তাদের যে জোট, তাদেরকে যে কথা বলবো, এই আগুন নিয়ে খেলা বাংলাদেশের মানুষ কখনো এটা মেনে নেবে না। তারা নির্বাচন বানচাল করতে চেয়েছে, এটা তারা বানচাল করতে পারবে না। বাংলাদেশের নির্বাচন জনগণের অধিকার, জনগণ তার ভোট দিয়ে নির্বাচিত করবে, যাকে দেবে তারাই সরকার গঠন করবে। অন্তত বাংলাদেশের মানুষকে তাদের ভোটের অধিকার সম্পর্কে সচেতন করা, গণতান্ত্রিক ধারা সম্পর্কে তাদের সচেতন, এটা আমরা করেছি। ইলেকশনের শিডিউল ঘোষণা হয়েছে, সবাই আসেন, ইলেকশনে অংশগ্রহণ করেন। ইলেকশনে জনগণের কাছে যে জনগণের কাছে ভোট চান, জনগণের কাছে এই যে অপরাধ করেছেন আপনারা, মানে বিশেষ করে বিএনপির যারা, জামাত বিএনপি জনগণকে অগ্নিসন্ত্রাসে হত্যা এবং যাদের জানমাল ক্ষতি করে, সেই জন্য জাতির কাছে মাপ চেয়ে তারপরে এসে আপনারা নির্বাচনে আসেন, সেটাই আমরা চাই। নির্বাচনের দরজা সকলের জন্য উন্মুক্ত।
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina said trust deficit among nations and lack of respect for international laws have led to the ongoing war in Europe and carnage in Palestine. She called upon the global leaders to be united to put an end to the conflicts. This conflicts call for an urgent need to create genuine trust and mutual respect among the warring nations and involved international actors, she said. The Prime Minister was addressing the two-day second voyage of Global South Summit, which was held on virtual platform hosted by India with participation of 125 countries from Ganu Bhavan this morning. The Bangladesh Prime Minister placed her 5 recommendations for the betterment of Global South and the world.
It is the trust deficit among nations and lack of respect for international law and have led to the ongoing war in Europe and the carnage in Palestine. These conflicts call for an urgent need to create genuine trust and mutual respect among the warring nations and involved international actors. It is time for all of us to unite as one world and demand the end of the conflict. As keen advocate of promoting peace, I believe it is vital to uphold global peace and stability for the overall well-being of humanity. The Global South must maintain united front against unilateral sanction and counter-sanctions. LDCs are facing various economic challenges resulting from COVID-19 and conflicts in parts of the world. I urge the continuation of duty, quota-free access and other facilities for a good period for graduating LDCs and after their graduation. I also urge development partners, international financial institutions and stakeholders to generously support the Global South for a better future.
After inaugurating the summit, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi also spoke on the occasion.
वैश्विक समृद्धि के लिए सबका साथ और सबका विकास जरूरी है। ये समय है जब ग्लोबल साउथ के देश ग्रेटर ग्लोबल गुड के लिए एक स्वर में बात करें।
The cyclonic storm Mithili has crossed the Bangladesh coast this evening. Now it turned into a deep depression, lies over Potuakhali and adjoining area. It is likely to move northeastwards further inland and weaken gradually by giving precipitation. Dhaka Met Office said under its influence, steep pressure gradient persists over North Bay. Squally weather may continue over the maritime ports, North Bay and coastal areas of Bangladesh. Maritime ports of Chattogram, Cox's Bazar, Mongla and Pyra have been advised to hoist local cautionary signal number 3. I repeat, signal number 3. All fishing boats and trawlers over North Bay have been advised to remain in shelter till further notice. Meanwhile, Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said light to moderate rain or thunder showers accompanied by temporary gusty or squally wind is likely to occur at most places over Dhaka, Mymensingh, Khulna, Borishal, Chattogram and Sylhet divisions and at a few places over Rangpur and Rajshahi divisions. Besides moderately heavy to very heavy falls at places over Dhaka, Mymensingh, Khulna, Borishal, Chattogram and Sylhet divisions. The long-cherished commercial operation of train services between Dhaka to Cox's Bazar route will begin from the first day of December. 2 direct trains will run on this route daily at the primary stage. The train services will ease travel hassles for those who love Cox's Bazar sea beach. Railways Minister Nurul Islam Shujan said the number of trains will be increased based on the pressure of passengers. Besides, tourist coaches will also be added. The total commercial distance between Dhaka and Cox's Bazar on rail route is 535 kilometers. The lowest fare on intercity trains have been fixed at 500 taka for Shubhun chair, while 961 taka for AC chair and 1,725 taka for every berth seat, which is the highest fare. Every train on Dhaka-Cox's Bazar route will have 16 to 18 coaches. Approximately 1,000 passengers will be able to travel on each train. Dengue situation is not an improving trend in Bangladesh, as 11 died during last 24 hours. A press release of the Directorate General of Health Services said among the dead, 8 were in Dhaka and 3 were outside Dhaka. 956 dengue patients were admitted to different hospitals across the country during the last 24 hours. Among them, 206 dengue patients were hospitalized in Dhaka city and 750 patients outside Dhaka. Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen has said Bangladesh will welcome any assistance from the friend countries if they want to provide that, to hold the upcoming national elections in a free, fair and impartial manner. He said this while talking to the journalist after inaugurating an international charity market at the Foreign Service Academy in Dhaka today. Foreign Office Spouses Association (FOSA) organized the day-long charity market. Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen said there is still time for BNP to take part in the upcoming election. He urged BNP leaders to participate in the 12th National Parliament election, leaving the colonial behavior. A total of 18 foreign missions, including India, Indonesia, Russia, Turkey, Thailand, Vietnam, China and Sri Lanka, and 32 local organizations took part in the international charity market. Now, international news. It has carried out strikes on senior Hamas figures in 2 underground sites in recent days. They include the head of Hamas's Rocket Brigade and Northern Gaza Brigade, the Israeli military says. They also say troops in Gaza found 2 bodies of hostages from adjacent areas to the Shifa hospital, where the military is continuing targeted activity. The Al-Shifa hospital director says hundreds of patients are still at the site and patients are screaming from thirst as the facility runs out of oxygen and water. In Gaza South, leaflets were dropped by Israeli forces around Khan Yunis, warning people in 4 towns to evacuate their homes and head to shelters. Mobile phone and internet services are down across Gaza because of a lack of fuel, Palestinian telecoms company says. The Hamas-run health ministry says more than 11,500 people have been killed in Gaza since Israel began its retaliatory strikes. Russia's rocket forces have loaded an intercontinental ballistic missile equipped with a nuclear-capable Vanguard hypersonic glide vehicle into a launch silo in southern Russia, according to a Defense Ministry TV channel broadcast. President Vladimir Putin announced the Vanguard hypersonic glide vehicle in 2018, saying it was a response to the development of a new generation of weapons by the United States. As it approaches its target, the Vanguard detaches from the rocket and can maneuver sharply outside the trajectory of the rocket at hypersonic speeds of up to 27 times the speed of sound. The Zvezda television channel owned by the Russian Defense Ministry on Thursday showed a ballistic missile being transported to a launch silo, slowly raised into a vertical position and then lowered into a shaft in the Orenburg region near Kazakhstan. Russia installed its first Vanguard-equipped missile in 2019 at the same Orenburg facility. Russia and the US, by far the world's biggest nuclear powers, have both expressed regret about the steady disintegration of arms control treaties which sought to slow the Cold War and system, including hypersonic ones as in China. The US cast China as its biggest competitor and Russia as its biggest nation-state threat, while US President Joe Biden argues that this century will be defined by an existential contest between democracies and autocracies. Now some other international news in brief. A strong magnitude 6.7 earthquake shook the southern Philippines today, killing a married couple as people fled buildings and part of a shopping mall ceiling collapsed. Floodwaters started to slowly recede today in the northern France. The region was badly hit by 2 weeks of exceptional weather and devastating floods. Chinese President Xi Jinping told Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida that the release of wastewater from the Fukushima nuclear plant affected the health of humankind.
双方积极确认全面推进战略互惠关系的新时代要求的建设。
Work is underway to convert the house where Adolf Hitler was born in northern Austria into a police station by 2026, with authorities hoping to neutralize the significance of this building, which continues to draw Nazi sympathizers. The ski resort Trojana will be available for skiers for 3 months every year, while the rest of the time tourists will be able to do water sports and mountain biking. In Saudi Arabia, most of the Saudi Arabian will be able to experience the winter wonderland in the middle of desert in 2026.
Component of main construction work on the ski will begin at the end of 2022.
Now news on sports. CONMEBOL regions of the FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifiers today. It is Brazil's second consecutive loss of the qualifying stage. It was a cathartic evening for Liverpool forward Luis Diaz, who scored twice within 4 minutes late in the second half to give his country the shock win just days after Colombian guerrillas freed his kidnapped father. With this win, Colombia has moved up to 3rd place with 9 points from 5 matches. Brazil, which has 7 points, has dropped to 5th place. Meanwhile, Uruguay defeated current champion Argentina by 2-0 in Buenos Aires in another World Cup qualifying match. Argentina hadn't lost a competitive match since its group stage opener against Saudi Arabia during the last year's World Cup in Qatar. It hadn't lost at home since falling 1-0 to Paraguay in 2016, also during World Cup qualifying. Despite this defeat, Argentina remains at the top of the CONMEBOL region. Messi's team have 12 points after 5 matches. Uruguay, on the other hand, are second in the table with 10 points in the same match. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. Jarrah election is open to all. Apologize to nation for crimes and misdeeds and come to upcoming polls. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to BNP. Prime Minister calls on global leaders to be united to stop ongoing war in Europe and carnage in Palestine. Cyclonic storm Mithili crosses Bangladesh coast this afternoon. Maritime ports advised to lower danger signal number 7 to local cautionary signal number 3. Commercial operation of train services between Dhaka to Cox's Bazar begins from December 1. Israeli attacks continue, targeting Hamas leaders in Gaza. Patients in al-Shifa hospital screaming from thirst as the facility runs out of oxygen and water. And Colombia beat Brazil with 2-1 in Uruguay beat Argentina with 2-0 in World Cup qualifying matches. And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we request you all to watch our 11:30 p.m. Bangla News. Keep your homestead neat and clean and stay safe from dengue. Khuda Hafiz.